Okay, this is a program that demonstrates a for loop. It's 5-2A, and the assignment says below is a program segment that will read in exactly 7 test scores and add 10 points to each score. Print out the original score and the new score. And here's a code segment that kind of explains, demonstrates the code. When you use a for loop, we basically use a for loop when we know how many times we want to repeat something. The for loop works like this. And we'll kind of draw a picture here. When you first get to the for loop, the first thing it does is initialization. And that is going to set I equal to 1. That's going to be our counter. We're going to count up from 1 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After we initialize things, we test to see if we're at the end. And in this case, we're not. I is going to start out to be 1. Of course, 1 is less than or equal to 7. Then we'll add 10 to the first score. Then we'll print that out. And then this makes us go back up. Add 1 to I will change from 1 to 2. Then we'll come here and do our test again. Is 2 less than 7? Yes. Okay, we'll do this again. And then we'll keep going around. Then add 1 to I will be 3. 3 less than 7? Yes, we'll do it again. And we'll keep going around until we do it 7 times. And that's basically the format of that. Now let's see it work in action in our program. Use my mouse to pull this out the way. In our program, first we need to declare our variables. So we need a variable for I, which is our counter. And we're going to need a variable to read in the score. And then a variable for our new score, since we're adding 10 to each score. Okay, here's our for loop. We say for I is equal to 1. I is less than or equal to 7. And it's important to say less than or equal to, because when it's equal to 7, we still wanted to do it. So that's why we have a less than equal to there. And then each time through the loop, we want to add 1 to I. Now, of course, just like with the while loop, we have to put an open brace around it and a closed brace. And first thing we need to do is read in the score. Then to get the new score, we take the score we read in. Okay, I'm having a bad typing day. And add 10 to it. And now we can print out the answer. And we're going to print out I, which is our counter. That's what they call that. I is going to be what counts from 1 to 7. And we're going to print that out. And then we're going to print out the first score that we read in. Then we'll print out the word with bonus. And then we'll print out the new score. Okay. So to summarize, do our initialization first. When we start out, we set I equal to 1. Then we test it to make sure that it's less than or equal to 7. Then we do these statements in the loop. Then we come back around, we add 1 to our counter, and we do this again. So that's how that's going to work. Now let's save it. Hit escape. Shift ZZ to save it. Then let's compile it. Hopefully we didn't have any syntax errors, which I don't think we did. Okay, and now to run it, /a.out, and we'll just type the numbers in as we go. So I'll put 100 in, and we got 110. And this indicates that it was the first time through it. That's our counter. Our counter is 1. Now we'll type in another score, which we'll type in 90. And you can see that line started out. Our counter is now 2. 90 was what we typed in. The bonus was 100. We'll type in a lower score here, 70. Now our counter is at 3. We'll count in, put in 50. Now our counter is at 4. It's going to do it 7 times because the for loop told us to do it 7 times. 55, 87, 65. Okay, and after the 7th time, it stopped because our for loop specified 7 times. Okay, we could also run this with the data file. And to create the data file, of course, you just name the program.data. And we would put these 7 numbers in a data file. Now I'm just putting 7 scores randomly in here. So I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, some people will ask the question, well, what if we put in more than 7 numbers? And I'm just going to put a couple zeros after this. And what do you think is going to happen? Well, it's only going to read in the first 7 because all we told it to read in was 7. And here's the less than sign. And it did it for the first 7 because all we told it to do is read in 7 numbers. Okay. Thanks, and again, give me feedback, email me, post comments on the YouTube site, let me know what you like, what you didn't like, or if I need to do something different, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks and bye.